Whether you're new to the firearm world as a beginner, an intermediate, or even if you're advanced, this is tips and considerations for you to be able to train smarter and better. I'm Instructor Thompson in my self-defense studio. I found this wonderful video of a young man who was training. He was actually training, and it's awesome because we know so many people really do carry and own firearms but don't train, at least not nearly enough. It was an interesting section, so you can see when somebody's really confident in their skills and about how long they can be doing this. I would say he's probably doing it for less than 5 years or so, but he had his stuff down. He knew what he was doing. There's one consideration that made me think, though, I should make a video about this because I never hear about it. And that is your mag placement, where it is for your spare mag. Now, we're going to go over a couple concepts, stances, our workspace, and a tactical reload. Even though we're going to go through those things, that's not actually what the video is about. It's going to be on where do you place your magazine, and specifically on your base plate protrusion. If you don't know, this is your base plate. On your base plate, most all magazines have this little protrusion to tell you where the bottom is and where the front is. That protrusion tells me all the rounds go this way. And most firearms have them. Some will have smaller ones or almost non-visible ones, like this one here on this single stack magazine barely has one, but it is there. Now for this, on this base plate protrusion, if I have it in a little holster there, and I have it facing this way, I'm going to have to do either a manipulation or a different type of grab to get it up where I want it. Now, a couple of things right off the bat. Let's start off with stance. When I'm standing and I'm shooting, I'm in isosceles. If I'm basically in what martial artists call a horse stance. Now, it's a little bit more narrow than a horse stance, but basically my feet are just past shoulder length apart and they're facing this direction. And actually from the shooting world, you can pick up a lot from the martial arts community. If you take your heels out just a little bit, it aligns your body to be physically stronger. No kidding, I can prove that, but that's another lesson for another time. For this, I'm in my isosceles stance and I have the ability to access my workspace very easily. But it's not the stance I like to use whatsoever. But when I'm doing my training, I like to be able to do it in bladed, or what us Kempoists would say, a left neutral bow. And the reason is, I have a couple of considerations and assumptions if I'm having to use this tool to be able to save my life. Very simply, he's probably got the same capability I do. He's either got a weapon, multiple people, or a firearm also, and I'm having to go into this stance for weapon retention, but also because I might have to engage with my firearm. And with that, if I have my base plate here and I'm in this position, I'm going to be in a better place, right? Well, two things. Number one, I like to have it flipped this way. And going along with this stance, aligning things up properly is really important. This part of the consideration, I'm a more narrow target here. Meaning, if he is aiming at me, I'm a bigger, easier target to hit here than I am here. And you can tell from me and this guy who you're going to have an easier time hitting. Right. So, I'm going to take my base plate from my bladed stance, and I'm going to face it forward. The most natural grip on this when I reach down is just to grab it, right? However, if it's facing this way, I'm going to be doing an underhand grasp. Now, I actually wear these a lot of the time that way because I'm used to grabbing that way. However, it's not the most natural grab. The most natural grab that you'll see most people use is right here, just up like that. Now, the next concept is about the finger touch. Every time I grab a magazine, I'm going to put my finger right here on the end of the round. I'm going to do that so that I can tell without even looking where I am, because this feels way different than this. I know if I'm here, I got the back. I know if I'm here, I got the front. So as I'm doing this, I want to have it there for the easiest way. If I do have it flipped, I I can come up here and grab and go in, or I'm going to have to manipulate it. Meaning when I come up and I feel that is why we do this with the finger, I'm going to have to rotate and go this way, right into my workspace. So the concept of the workspace, there is a square, an invisible square right in front of me, right here in this box. And I'm going to have this workspace specifically so I don't take the eyes off of the threat at any time. I know if I'm being attacked and I'm having to use this to defend my life, there's at least one threat, and they're that way, because we're not turning our back on our threat, right? So as I'm in this position, reaching down and I'm grabbing, I'm in my bladed stance, and I'm going to come up and take this magazine, and I'm going to put it in to my workspace using my peripheral vision to see what I'm doing and keep my eyes on the threat at all times. Now, oftentimes when I do these videos, I will use a trainer. Today, because I have that magazine, we're going to use the real tool. So we'll talk about clearing for a second. I'm going to start by taking the magazine out, and I'm going to cock this back, grab the round out of there. I carry condition 0. If you don't know what that is, you can go onto the main page there and see the Cooper's colors, Cooper's concepts, and all the things with Jeff Cooper in the training there for what condition 0 is. Basically, it means there's always a round in the chamber and the safety is off. This particular self-defense tool does not have a safety at all. There is none. So it's always in condition 0 the second that a round is in that chamber. Now that's a personal preference, but I show different things for different people as you'll need to adapt to your lifestyle, what you believe is best. One of my instructors put it very well. He said, not having a round in the chamber is like saying you have enough time to be able to put on a seatbelt before a car accident. That said, my first firearm instructor, my father, Sensei Thompson Sr., said, that's crazy. Why would you carry one in the chamber? Unless you're a cop on duty. Now, a couple of friends are also in that same mindset. They don't carry around in the chamber. They carry Israeli carry, meaning it's almost ready. They're typically in condition 3, where the mag's in, safety's on, but they have to rack around and then turn the safety off to be able to use the tool. I'm not a fan of it, but it's because I always use retention holsters, and if I have something that's not a retention holster, like a tightened down Kydex, then that may indeed be in condition 2 or 3 to make sure that it's not going anywhere and has a round outside of the chamber. All of these are considerations that are personal, however. So I've cleared my firearm visually, physically, looked, and felt inside of that chamber there. Make sure there's nothing in there. Now, in this position, I'm going to bring it back up, take my finger here, and I'm going to load into my workspace, and I'm going to put it back just like that. Now, with this, I know that this chamber is now clear. I cannot overstress this enough. Use snap caps if you're going to do this type of a thing because it can be very, very helpful. But I wanted to illustrate this with my real mag and FMJ for a reason. As I've just cleared my firearm, I'm going to come up and come out. And I'm going to get into my sole position. From here, I have a couple of things. I'm going to be doing a tactical reload. If you don't know what a tactical reload is, we're going to go over that. But essentially, I have been engaging with the threat, but I'm not actually out yet. For that reason, the slide is not kicked back. I'm actually here. So I'm going to come up to this position here, making sure my finger is on the side of the metal. And I'm going to come up and do this. Now, I know everybody's a big fan of the John Wick flick. However, we're not going to do that. Why? Because I want to make sure I still have my magazine accessible. God forbid I have to reload, and I have a story on that later. But God forbid I have to reload. I don't want to be looking for my mag or having to go into any depth of this altercation. I want to be able to take it and put it right back. So for tactical reload purpose, and what that is I'm counting, but I've lost count. I don't know how many rounds I've got left in this, but I know I got a full mag on me. So I'm going to hit the mag release button, taking from this position, remaining in my workspace with my threat, eyes in front, and I'm going to bring this out like this. At that point, I'm separating here with this finger, taking this back in with the thumb, sliding back like that, and I'm going to go down. Now, we talk about this often and how I'm reholstering. However, in this position, I can't look down. I'm in the middle of this doing a tactical reload. So I like to do it where I put my hand back down on it, because now that I've touched it, I can slide it back and go in. That feeling gives me the ability to be here and keep my eyes on the thread at all times. One more thing, if I'm doing a tactical reload, unless I'm moving and or I'm back behind cover, as soon as I've gone in, I'm actually going back into the fight and pressing out again as I'm doing that, because I'm doing a tactical reload. Let's say I'm not doing a tactical reload. Let's say I'm out. As I'm in this position, I know that I've gone to this point and there is a round about to go in there. So we're going to drop this on out. I'm going to look, visually, physically inspect, and know the chamber is clear. If I'm out, it's the same type of a thing for the reload. So I'm going to take my finger here. I'm going to push on this, catch, and catch. Now this is a really good drill to do in and of itself. Touching here and touching here. But using your peripheral vision to be able to see. So as I'm doing this, you can just do it there. Now, there are some people that have rules on it where they will always stay pinched like this and then use this finger to stay there, and they do it where they keep it super tight. I'm not concerned about that, and I'll tell you why. This is for speed. I want this in and in very, very quickly. I do not want any of this to be taking any longer than it should. So in that position, I'm trying to go pretty quick, which is why we use snap caps and keep the chamber clear. Now with this, you can just empty all the rounds out of this. Do not be doing this in a way where you are putting around in the chamber each time, even with external safeties, snap caps, or empty magazine. That's what I mean about it with people's comfort level. However, that's after thousands of reps, like thousands of reps. So practice with an empty magazine and or snap caps. You'd be glad you did. Now, I'm here. I'm going to always go to that position. If I am having the magazine facing that way with that base plate protrusion going this direction, I'm going to have to come up and underhand grab, or if I do my over top grab like this, I'm going to have to go here like that to enter in. Why I don't like that? Well, for my tactical reload, where am I? I'm having to catch this now with my thumb and come back this way, and it's not a natural motion. So my base plate protrusion facing the front instead of the rear, as I come here, I'm doing a very quick tactical reload, and now I know I've got a full mag. I can punch out and get back into the fight and make sure that I'm either counting or reloading with a fresh mag each time. So to recap, we have isosceles and laded. We have our workspace, always keeping our eyes on the threat and using our peripheral vision to be able to do our reloads. We have grabbing with the finger, sticking in, being able to feel, and if we do grab this way, having to flip with our wrist out, because that's where we're wearing it. And the point of the video, having this position here, where the base plate protrusion is facing front and not back. Because amongst all those little tricks, the tiny things in your reps, in your drills, will help you and keep it a little bit easier if, God forbid, you have to do this to save your life. But definitely things you want to be practicing in your drills. I'm Instructor Thompson, my self-defense studio. Salute.